All right, so I just watched the movie The Tomorrow War, directed by Chris McKay, who directed Lego Batman and the Lego Movie, two very good movies. And now he's directed The Tomorrow War, starring Chris Pratt. I was actually looking forward to this movie ever since I saw the trailer. I thought it looked pretty good. And I watched it on Amazon Prime, as I'm sure most of you did. And yeah, I think Amazon Prime got a steal with this movie because this is a $200 million movie, and it's not going to really make that much money. Unfortunately, I feel like this would have made a nice penny in theaters, but that is just not the case right now. And I'm sure Chris Pratt is upset about that because I feel like they made a decent movie. Of course, Rotten Tomatoes has it at like 52%, all right, something like that, and it's split. Some people, think it's bad. Some people think it's good. I think it's an enjoyable film. It's definitely watchable. There are some things that don't make sense at all. Like the time travel, I feel is a lot of problems. And they actually try to talk about like paradoxes and stuff and like altering the future based off, if stuff about the future, you're going to alter it if you change anything, obviously. But then the movie goes ahead and does that and nothing really changes. So that's kind of like a problem I'm having with the timeline. For example, Chris Pratt goes to the future, meets his daughter. Spoilers for all this. And by the way, meets his daughter. She tells him how he dies. So right there, since we know Chris Pratt is probably going to go back to where he came from in the past, and he finds out how he dies in the future, doesn't that automatically change the flow of time? If you know how you're going to die, you can avoid it and stuff like that. I feel like that would automatically change the flow of time. Lots of stuff like that happens where it's just like, wait, wouldn't that instantly change the future if they did that? Like a lot of that happens when he gets to the future. But for those of you that don't know, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. This movie is a movie about a war that's in the future. Mankind's going extinct, and they find a way to travel back in time to get new recruits to come to the future and help them out. Really good idea. When I looked at the trailer, I was really fascinated with that idea. I liked it a lot. I'm like, all right, that's pretty neat. I haven't really seen that, coming back to the past to get, draftees for the future war. Very good idea. And the movie, it does start kind of slow at the beginning. Like first 20 minutes, we're kind of like, setting up the world, setting up Chris Pratt's character a lot. His character gets the most amount of development. And there's this interesting tone they're trying to capture with the movie. There are like some serious moments, but then you get a lot of light humor with Chris Pratt. There's a couple like funny characters, but when you get to the war, those funnier characters, the funny side characters, they kind of die pretty early on in the movie. Like they die and there's like over an hour left in the movie. Even the other side comedic character goes away till the end of the movie. So there's this interesting tone the movie's trying to balance. It starts really like light. Chris Pratt is sucking you in with his charm and stuff like that. There's a lot of comedic moments with some characters. And then about the halfway point, we find, Chris Pratt's character meeting his daughter in the future. And then the jokes kind of like subside, and we get into this whole thing where, Chris Pratt is finding out what happened in his life, and he kind of abandoned his kid, and then he died when she was like 16, and she had to live her life without him, and then they're reunited again, but she doesn't feel right about it. It's like very melodramatic stuff happening for sure. And I don't know if the movie really accomplished the balancing of the tones. That would probably be my main criticism of it. The movie looks great, by the way. The movie looks fantastic. Larry Fawn, who is a Zack Snyder alum. Funny enough how it all comes back to Zack Snyder. Larry Fawn is the director of photography on this movie. The movie looks great. All his movies look great. He's going to be one of those legendary DPs years from now. When we look back on directors of photography, we're going to be looking at Larry Fawn's work, I feel. And there's a couple really good looking shots in this movie. There's a moment in the climax of the film where the daughter like sacrifices herself essentially and falls into like this pile of the alien monsters, and it's a really really nice shot. It's like you see them falling. It's like slow motion. It looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous. Lots of good looking shots in the movie, and yeah, it's not your run of the mill alien invasion movie. The aliens are pretty much monsters. It's more of a monster film. Like I wouldn't even consider them alien. More monsters that just like multiply really fast and eat everything in sight. There's a shot in the film where you see the alien monsters chasing down like deer or elk or something like that, and you see them chasing them down and like eating them all from like a helicopter vantage point. So like they're eating everything. I like that. It's more the line of monsters than aliens, but whatever. Not too much to complain about in the movie. Obviously, a lot of time problems with it that you can pick apart for days. The one thing I loved a lot was when they actually get transported to the future. They get levitated up and they get sent to the future, and they drop out of the sky. And they say they're going to drop like 8 or 10 feet from the ground. It's only going to be like a 10-foot drop. And then it turns out they're dropping them from like on higher than skyscrapers. And the only way some of them survive is that they land in like a pool that's on top of a skyscraper. It was in the trailers. I thought that one was dope. They actually opened the film. They opened the film with that shot. Because I think that's like one of the most interesting shots in the movie. And I'm pretty sure the director thought that too. So they decided to open with that. It's a pretty good hook for the movie. And then you get, your backstory of Chris Pratt, whatever. And then we get back to that moment. And yeah, I thought that was the, dopest part, like, that's not how I've seen time travel in films. Usually they know where they're sending the people. But in this case, they kind of didn't know where they were sending them. And they fallen out of the sky and stuff like that. Pretty cool. Lots of good ideas in the movie. It's not anything mind-blowing. It is enjoyable to watch. I probably, wouldn't say it's like the best film. I would put it in the same category as like Independence Day. Like that's the type of film it is, world-ending event, action movie with some comedy sprinkled in. For a $200 million picture, I think it's a shame that it's not in theaters. That means they definitely took a hit on this film. That's a shame because I think Chris Pratt is also producing it as well. And yeah, I mean, I don't know much more to say other than that. I do like some of the themes in the movies about father to daughter relationships, father to son relationships. There's a lot of like father things going on between Chris Pratt's father and then between Chris Pratt's daughter and him. And it's like a generational thing, And then, the movie has to do with time travel and stuff like that. So, I guess there's some theme right there that they're going for. It wasn't too clear what the thesis was, but I'm pretty sure some people will figure it out if they like the movie enough. Another thing I like about the movie is the fact that it's not sequel baiting at all. It's not going to sequel bait you. It actually has, like, the last 15 minutes of the movie is like an epilogue chapter, and you actually get an ending on the movie. You see them take out these aliens, and supposedly they're all dead by the end of the movie. So, no sequel baiting, no franchise baiting. It ends. And I appreciate that. I appreciate they did that. It is a self-contained movie. You could just, watch it, and then you're done with it. Nothing more past that. I like that. Movies try to always get a setup for a sequel in there. They're trying to set up a franchise. And in this movie, they don't. And I appreciate that a lot. And would I rewatch this movie? Maybe like one more time. But I wouldn't be like watching it over and over. Some good moments. Good design on the aliens. They look like monsters. And that's about it, Chris Pratt is entertaining. I'd probably get the movie like a 6 or 7 out of 10 in that range. But, not too bad. Not too great. Right? Just right there, Just right good enough. Right? Anyway, let me know what you think about this movie in the comments below. What did you get out of it? I feel like there are some deeper themes as far as, generations and father figures go. There's a lot of that in the movie. The younger generation being burdened by the older generation. It feels like there's some of that going on in the movie. Lots of problems with the time traveling for me. I just I keep scratching my head. Like, there's this moment where Chris Pratt gets the vial that is going to kill all the aliens. It's like the one thing that's going to kill all the aliens. And it's like, I'm thinking, like, the second he gets it, shouldn't all the aliens disappear? Because he's inevitably going back in time. Like, he's gonna kill the aliens with this fucking thing. So the second he gets in his hands, wouldn't that alter the future? Wouldn't that change everything instantly? Or is it like, Back to the Future? We have it's entirely different timeline, entirely splintered off parallel reality. And, the ending of that parallel reality is always going to happen. And Chris Pratt goes back in time, and him going back in time is going to alter it and make another parallel reality. I wish I had a chalkboard here to explain it, but I don't. Anyway, that's going to do it for now. Don't think about it too much. It's not that movie where you think about, the time travel and stuff like that. It's a good looking movie. Director of photography, I like him a lot. The director of the movie, Chris McKay, he directed the Lego Batman movie. I like that movie. I like the Lego movie. This is like his first real big production, $200 million production, and they're not going to see that much return on it, which I think sucks for them. And hopefully he gets another shot, because I feel like he's on track, to make a good movie, like a really good movie. I feel like he's got potential for that. Because I don't know. I don't know what about Tomorrow War just kept me thinking about Independence Day. Like, I don't know what about it. It just did, though. And funny enough, I'm recording this on Independence Day. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. Anyway, comment below. Let me know what you think of Tomorrow War. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye for now.